Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the debate between Thomas Paine and Thomas Jefferson. Before we address the two, let's look through the recent greatness of our new country. Living under a British monarchy was terrible. They increased our taxes, they restricted trade, and they involved us in the French and Indian War. Angrily, the colonists responded with the Boston Massacre. At this moment, the colonists looked Britain straight in the eye, buckled their belt, and said, "Hit me with your best shot." Let the debate begin. A hot topic that will be discussed throughout this debate is the morality of slavery. Mr. Jefferson, please discuss your opinion on this topic. You're on the clock.
Here's the matter of fact. Slavery is something that can't happen. It's disgusting. I don't like it. It's rancid. It's flabbergasting. It's appalling. And any human that should endure that is just tragic.
Mr. Paine, what is your response?
Well, Mr. Jefferson, you claim to be against slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You've always been against slavery.
Yes.
Well, I guess in the Declaration of Independence you did say everyone had the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That is correct.
Yet, you own slaves. 300 of them.
Who hasn't owned slaves?
Please, let Mr. Paine talk.
But where's their liberty? You work them to death. Where's their pursuit of happiness? Where?
Mr. Jefferson, you now have the floor.
Thomas Paine, what you are saying to me is absolutely and utterly disrespectful. What I've done for this country, this new country, is far more beyond than anything you've done. I created the Declaration of Independence, stating life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to the colonies stuck under the British tyranny. So when you question something like slavery, which has been around for hundreds and thousands of years, slavery, I have a plantation to run. I do. It's the South. It's agriculture. It's a big crop economy going on there.
Mr. Paine, what are your final thoughts on this topic before we move on to the next one?
Well, Mr. Jefferson, I was a founding member of the first anti-slavery organization in America, right? And this was before the revolution and your whole Declaration of Independence, which common sense actually did persuade a lot of people. But anyway, I said that some desperate wretches should be willing to steal and enslave men by violence and murder for gain is rather lamentable than strange, which is what you're doing. You're using it for gain to make your money because you need to feed your family. Well, what about their families? All right? Then I go on to say, but that many civilized, nay, Christianized people should approve and be concerned in the savage practice is surprising, which you are.
Come on now.
And still persist through it has been so often proved contrary to the light of nature, to every principle of justice and humanity, and even good policy, by a succession of eminent men in several late publications. We don't need it. It's injustice, and it's not right.
Mr. Paine, what is your position on the representation of slaves, such as their contribution towards population? And also, should slave trade be ruled out completely?
Well, yes, it should. Slave trade is terrible. We should not allow slaves in our new country. And representation, they're not even citizens. So how do they get 3/5 of them to count? It doesn't make any sense. We're going to say they're our property, but count them to our population. Count them to how we count people, citizens of our country. It makes no sense.
Mr. Jefferson, would you like to rebuttal?
I would. Paine, I do believe the 3/5 compromise is perfect. Because, think about it for a second. Slaves aren't the colonial people. They are not the white men, okay? The white men are what make up one person. Each individual is one. But slaves, they come from the islands. They're imported here. They're imported from the slave trade, which you call bad, but we need it for this agriculture and economy to work, okay? Because we are in some debt. All right, we need to make money. And we have cash crops down here. In order to do that, we need to have slaves. Here we are, 230 years later, and slavery is gone. But there's still racism and oppression. Partly, there's a man who's running for office named Donald Trump. He's making racist comments towards Mexicans and Muslims, completely discriminating against them and saying things that are absolutely false based on a few, which ties back to slavery. It's oppression, it's wrong, and it shouldn't happen.